Hey guys, AMC has had a great morning so far, and I want to tell you a couple of the indicators that you should be looking out for the rest of this week. So the first things first, in this morning, AMC had a pre-market rally all the way from a breakout of around 960. That was where it had trouble in the after hours, pushing through, and that then becoming from resistance to support is a great point. Oh, let me introduce myself first. My name is Andrew. This is Professor Meatball. One of the most important points that I want to be able to provide you guys is that we are just smooth brain apes hoping to help you guys understand the technical indicators that you should look at as well for yourself. Right, so learning along with us, smashing that like button, and coming along for the journey to 100,000 subscribers. I promised you guys that my goal for April is 100,000 subscribers, going to live up to that expectation. So let's get that bread together. We have some news right here. AMC Entertainment stock bounces after B. Riley analyst turns bullish. And just to help you understand what's going on after Godzilla versus Kong, and how this stock is likely to start a major rip and a different change after a bearish play over the last weekend is something that I want to leave you guys with. So as a reminder, AMC had a slump. Over the last week, we saw it majorly trade sideways a couple of times, having small rips, but always correcting afterward. And then a channel upward that I drew for Friday that ultimately trended down all the way to a brand new level of support at 914. Now these levels I've been drawing since AMC was here a couple of weeks ago, so they still stand hold. If you guys are not sure what resistance and support is, it's just price points where the stock has seen a historical pattern in bouncing off from, which means a lot of people think that the stock would be oversold and undervalued at that price, or has been rejected by, which is a resistance. On the other hand, a resistance is a price point that investors have either decided that it is going to be too overvalued or overbought at that price. And so one of the best ways to be able to figure that out is with our handy dandy RSI, our relative strength index, which is this line here in teal. Gives us a sense of at the moment bullish and bearish momentum. Here we see that after trending underneath 914 to a low of $8.90 some cents, right? That was the lowest that AMC's been in a while. Then AMC in the pre-market started rising a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beautiful subwaves in this impulse wave that then maybe some glitches, maybe some panicked selling brought us up brought us down a couple of times, but continued to trend upwards until it opened at a high of $10.14. From there, it was not over. Two of the things that you'll notice is that this is one of the most beautiful impulse waves you can imagine, but also two bullish pennants, right? This bullish pennant here coming from a downtrend, but this one coming from an uptrend here with a descending level of resistance 1, 2, right, from a descending level of resistance from 1015 to about 1009, and then the same level of support. That is a bullish sign coming from an uptrend, and then we saw, as predicted, a brand new rip all the way to $10.35, where it stayed between these two chambers. And that was a little bit more predictability for your buck. And when there are two levels of resistance and support close to each other, you can expect that you can look away, maybe have a soda, relax, if you are trying to day trade or scalp, which is something that, as a reminder, high risk in trying to day trade these stocks specifically. So if you guys are new to investing, try the easier approach, right? Not financial advice, but the better approach for you, both of tax incentives and in terms of market stability of just buying and holding. Doesn't have to be these two stocks, but it is one of the strategies that can turn dividends if you do it right. So now that you have seen some technical analysis of AMC, where we are expecting it to go is that this is likely going to start approaching the overbought territory. You see that the RSI was peaking above 70 a couple of times, and the volume is starting to peter out, which is something that happens through the midday, right? People in New York are starting to go on their lunch breaks. You can see that it's bright outside over on the West Coast. So one of the most important things to note is that if there is a corrective wave, we're trying to see if it can stay above that VWAP here at $10. $20.11. That gives us a sense of the true price of how volume affects our price action. So as of right now, VWAP is trending about 25 cents lower than the price of the stock right now. And if it can be supported by the VWAP halfway through the day, AMC is going to be in great shape. Let's cover some news. AMC Entertainment stock bounces after B. Riley analyst turns bullish, right? Analyst Eric Wold says buy AMC stock as strong performance of Godzilla vs. Kong confirms consumers want to leave the house and return to theaters, right? This was written in April 5th, so likely you are seeing the aftermath of someone from 9:14 a.m. Eastern, right before markets open, telling everyone, hey, AMC's a good buy. Shares of AMC Entertainment Holdings rallied Monday after B. Riley analyst blah, blah, blah. We already just read that in the headline. Movie chain stock went up 11.38%. That's where it is right now. Bounced 4.9% in pre-market trading, following 32% tumble in the meme stock over the past 2 weeks. And this was a major bummer for AMC that was already just hovering at close to the midsection between $10 and $20. Wold raised his rating to buy from neutral and boosted his price target to $13, which is 39% above Thursday's closing price from $7. We have remained impressed with management's ability to weather the pandemic headwinds by both strengthening the balance sheet and negotiating with landlords to improve the cash runway into 2022, Wold wrote in a note to clients. And as the largest exhibitor of North America that also operates the highest number of IMAX screens, we view AMC as well positioned to benefit from the industry's projected resurgence and return to pre-pandemic attendance levels by 2023. This upgrade comes from what Wold said was an impressive opening weekend domestic box office for Warner Brothers' Godzilla vs. Kong. Warner Brothers is owned by AT&T's blah, 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 Warner Media. So Godzilla vs. Kong. Who won? Who lost? You're going to have to find out in your own local AMC theater. Wold said that although the North American theater base is only about 60% open and with seating capacity limitations averaging from 25% to 50%, the movie still took in about $50 million in domestic box office revenue. That compares to about slightly less than $50 million that Godzilla King of Monsters opened with in May 2019. Okay, interesting. So this is basically pre-pandemic levels of movie seeing. So that is very, very exciting. We believe consumers want to leave the house and return to the theater, and these results are very telling, especially considering that the movie was available for free to HBO Max subscribers at the same time the theatrical release. Now that is huge. It is not only the same levels as pre-pandemic times, however, the HBO Max subscribers was a way to circumnavigate all of that. No one had to take that risk of going outside if they didn't have the vaccines or they didn't have the right mentality that this was a safe endeavor, and yet people did go out and see this movie. So this is an important note that numbers don't lie. People can lie. People can change the manipulation and the perception of these numbers, but these numbers themselves just $1 million above what they made in 2019 with roughly the same movie. AMC investors have been subjected to roller coaster ride in the recent months, right? As the stock was caught up in the trading frenzy surrounding heavily shorted stocks, which included shares of GameStop. Oh, look, Jamie got a shout out here. The sell-off over the past 2 weeks followed a 5-week win streak in which the stock skyrocketed 150%. So the stock closed Thursday 53% below the more than 2-year closing high of $20 in January 27, but was still up 340% year to date, while the S&P 500 has only gained 7. That magic 7%, right? It's been 7% for a good long time, and both GameStop and GME are up quadruple digits for GME, possibly, in that same amount of time. B. Riley's Wold said that his only concern with AMC and the reason for the neutral rating was that the company's high levels of debt could put a strain on future cash flows. However, with management increasingly signaling the ability and willingness to utilize equity to reduce the debt load, we can now be more constructive on the upside opportunity for the shares, Wold wrote. So what exactly is next for AMC? Something that we want to pay attention to on this channel is whether or not you have the opportunity to understand how to analyze a stock, one from the technical and the pattern trading analysis side, and two from the news catalyst side. So being able to understand both of them is embodied in this video. So I really do hope that you enjoyed this example. Make sure to do your own research, of course, but if you just started out on this journey, I'd love to hear your comments down below or in the live chat right now. And if you guys have not yet checked out the Patreon links, right? I'm going to update these tonight. So the Moon Platoon, the Millionaire, and this Meatball, the Space Legend tiers. If you guys want to show up on this list for an entire week and forever, right? Infinity and beyond, for just a couple of pennies a day, you guys can support the show. And I really do appreciate it. For now, but not for forever, I'll see you in the money.